got drama, the saga continues. We ain't going nowhere. We ain't going nowhere. We can't be stopped now, cause it's bad boy for life. We ain't going nowhere. We ain't going nowhere. We can't be stopped now, cause it's bad boy for life.
Welcome in episode 51, the Frosty Takes podcast, the podcast that most of us are really fucking depressed because our football team still sucks. Huge, big ass.
Oh, I don't know about
balls.
Most of us being depressed.
Bears lose 38-20, week 1 at home at Soldier Field. We're going straight to Bruce on this one, a Bears homer who not only predicted the Bears to make the playoffs, but go, Dylan, I think 11-6?
That's what
Correct.
I said.
Proceed.
I mean, one, I've been wrong before. Let's not act like would be a fucking mystery to the universe. But two, I didn't give up in the first quarter of the first game of the season like some people. You absolutely fucking did.
Don't turn this around.
Absolutely. No, you gave up on this team in the first quarter. Green Bay scored their first touchdown, and you called it quits right there. You were like, game over. That's it. Yes. But Blake, come on.
Sure didn't. It was halftime. If I did,
it was not halftime.
No, it was.
You literally just said it was 3:48 p.m. That's the first quarter of a 3:25 kickoff game.
Was I wrong?
I took a screenshot of the thread at 3:51.
Thanks, Dylan.
And that was the first quarter still.
I can't confirm that. I don't remember what time of the game
it was. The very first score.
Confirmed
yeah,
first quarter.
Literally.
Was
you gave up. You had no faith.
Was I wrong?
Now, when it comes to the actual game,
can't answer that.
The defensive line is a problem for the Bears. Like I said it was. Like I got shit on for saying it was.
Nope, no one shit on you.
No one said anything.
So let's
anything
stop making
but
up
the defensive
fictional
line was
bullshit
shit.
and continue with your
You guys
assessment.
bullshit on me for saying, but whatever. Yeah, no, we have no pass rush, which left our secondary out to dry. They were running all over the place. They were out of position because they had to be multiple places at one time. For the most part, the secondary played pretty well, I will say. Like, given the circumstances, Tyreek Stevenson looked great early. He kind of tapered off towards the end. The offense just killed us, though. We could not move the ball, and the defense spent so much time on the field. It felt very typical, which hurts. It hurts a lot. Fields was making bad mistakes, holding on to the ball, just not having time. The Packers had, 24 pressures to
25.
the Bears, 25 pressures. 35 pressures.
Only one team had more, which was the Cowboys with 36.
And they shut out the team they played, so that tells you how things went. I mean, it was just an ugly game. An ugly game. It hurts my feelings.
Josh.
I mean, to reiterate, the defensive line was terrible. Apart from Yannick Ngakoue, not a single person really did anything.
He didn't do anything either. That was a coverage sack.
Yeah, I was going to say he did not do anything.
He had a sack. He also blew by. He also blew by a tackle blew by an offensive tackle for a big hit on a run play, which I liked. It actually got me out of my seat. One of very few plays the entire game that got me out of my seat. So, yeah, I'm not going to sit here and say he was absolutely phenomenal, but he was much better and at least noticeable than anybody else. Couldn't tell me anybody else did anything on the defensive line. Offensive line was fucking horrible. And the play calling was pretty fucking abysmal too. I mean, I don't know how many times we threw the ball behind the line of scrimmage or just in front of the line of scrimmage. It's really frustrating. One of the
Quick.
more frustrating games I've ever been a part of. Go ahead, Blake. I don't really want to talk about this game.
Yeah, I was
We do
thankful
have to
enough not to go to this game and pay a shitload of money.
Good call, buddy.
I
Good
changed
call.
the channel and had to watch an even worse game of the Titans versus the Saints, and that was even just as bad. But yeah, the Bears defensive line not getting home. Hate to beat a dead horse here, but that's what it is. And just offensive line are non-existent. So that's how you lose football games.
Yeah, and I'm gonna say my piece on this. It's embarrassing that you let the youngest team in the NFL with a quarterback making his second career start in your home stadium at your home opener at a 3:30 kickoff, win by 18 points, and really let's call it 20 something because that was a garbage time touchdown or whatever. I don't even know how they got fucking 20 points. You know why? Because I walked the fuck out of the stadium because I'm not putting up with this bullshit. And I get the offensive line needs to be better. The defensive line needs to be better. The fucking game plan needs to be better. If your defensive line isn't getting home, what do you do, Blake?
You throw stunts, you throw blitzes, you change anything up. They didn't do a damn thing.
They
to
didn't. They
force
said
any-
cover two all fucking day. And
Set
we
before
threw
the
fucking
game.
short passes. We fucking dropped back however many times, and only two of them were plays in which we actually got Justin Fields moving out of the pocket early in a designed play. It was fucking abysmal. I forgot to mention that because I was so depressed. But I mean, really, my thought process after this game is all eyes are on the coaching staff of the Bears for the next couple weeks. That's what it comes down to for me. All eyes are on the coaching staff. They didn't make a fucking single adjustment really in the second half, which is something early on last year they actually did pretty well, at least offensively, if I remember correctly. But just a shit show, horror show.
KYP, know your personnel.
And Chase Claypool also. If that ever happens again, I want him cut. I want him traded for a 7. I don't care. That was unbelievable. Like, he was useless. He did not a single thing. Had one design play to him, and it was a screen pass. He dropped a screen pass.
Went right through his hands, hit him right in the middle of that fucking 11 too.
What are we doing?
He was dogging. He was dogging.
And I was actually, I'll be honest with you, prior to the game, I was excited to see him play because we heard in towards the end of camp that he was actually starting to come alive a little bit and make some plays. I was actually excited to see what he would do. In one of my fantasy leagues that was a 12-man fantasy league, I actually drafted him with my last pick in hopes that maybe, just maybe, he would get back into form and have another 8-9 touchdown season. But it was abysmal to watch. He didn't even want to be out there, not blocking, running past guys were his assignment to block, just running right past them on two.
It's a chop block at best. All you have to do is put your body
just
in
fall
the way
down.
You just gotta get in front of him.
This man brushed
backside DBs don't really.
This man brushed the furthest part of his shoulder pad on this man and said, "That's good enough." And
easiest block in the NFL, and you can't even touch a dude. Blindsided. Come on, dude. Get off the team.
The only highlight reel he played was when he got punched and he did the cool fucking little flop. That was the most positive thing he did all day. It's embarrassing.
So don't change the scheme at all. Fucking dumb. Flus, that's on the D coordinator. Blitz. Make your coverages look somewhat different, even if you're playing cover 2. Fake a goddamn blitz. It's, again, a quarterback making his second start in the NFL, and you let him sit back there with all day and let him make confident throws, get his confidence up in the first half. He was 6 for 15 at one point. He didn't believe me. I saw it with my own 2 eyes. Jordan Love is not anything special. Did he have a good game? Absolutely. But you take away those 2 big pass plays to Aaron Jones, which was 159 yards right there. Or I'm sorry, he finished with 245 yards. If you take away those 2 big plays to Jones, he's threw for 159 yards. He missed a bunch of throws.
He did, and I feel like the game plan was to sit and cover 2 and
which
make him
wrong.
beat you, which He did.
And
I think every quarterback's going to make mistakes, especially a guy who's really a first-time starter. This is his first chance to get it, and he still made the plays that he needed to. He played a
100%,
perfectly fine
100%.
game, in my opinion.
If
there were
you're
2
just
big
gonna-
throws to Aaron Jones, but I'm sure I could go find another quarterback in this league week 1 that had 2 big plays, and if we would have took those away, he's down to about 150 yards. That's just the game of football sometimes. So I've taken nothing away from Jordan Love, who played an excellent game, missed a couple throws, but who doesn't?
Played a good game, but
if you're not gonna change coverage, disguise coverage, send blitzes, do anything on defense, every quarterback in the NFL can throw for 200 yards. Every single one of them. That's how they got there.
I could have put any one of you out there throwing to these wide open fucking guys with that much time. You would have found someone. It was embarrassing, and that makes me think, okay, if Flus thought his defense would be able to handle Love and just be conservative and cover 2 all day, probably just be conservative on offense. The defense will take care of it. We'll stop them. We'll score enough points to win. You have Justin fucking Fields. I don't care if you don't trust the offensive line. Design runs for him. Get him out of the pocket. It was like watching 2019 week 1 with Mitch, dropping or in the shotgun, dropping back. He is a mobile quarterback. Get him out of the motherfucking pocket. Let him run. If he's not going to do that, he's not going to help you win anyway. Do what he does best. The offensive game plan, shit. Lateral passes, dumb. The entire game plan. And then Fields said, well, the game plan was designed to, attack them at the line of scrimmage, blah, blah, blah. So Jair and all these guys who are Vaness, who are great tacklers, can just fucking do what they do best. Idiots. They started throwing downfield, and they got that touchdown to Mooney. There was another good play. What else do I have here? Their ADOT was 3.1, the lowest number since 2010. 9 straight losses to the Packers, 10 straight losses to the NFC North. It has got to stop. If I'm Kevin Warren, I'm going down to Ryan and Matt Eberflus, and I'm like, what the fuck? It needs to get better. It does not matter. It matters that it is the fucking Green Bay Packers. It matters that it's the division. If this happened against the AFC East, I wouldn't be that mad. But there comes a time where enough is enough. Figure it the fuck out or get out. And if you don't think Flus doesn't win 6 to 7 games this year, he needs to be fired. That roster,
I think he will be too, to be honest with you. If he doesn't,
that roster has enough talent to get by, and the entire Chicago Bears organization has done Justin Fields a disservice his entire career there. Got him killed with Nagy that entire year. That first game in Cleveland, I thought the guy was going to die. It's a miracle he hasn't been hurt. If you put Fields on the Packers, LaFleur would have that guy fucking running circles around any team he played against. LaFleur fucking put on a masterclass on Eberflus's ass Sunday. It was a great game plan, and guess what? It was tight at halftime. The half didn't end well with Green Bay, with the Bears being pushed back. Braxton Jones figured the fuck out 3 holding calls. You can't win like that. Cole Kmet, 3rd and 2, first drive of the game, gets a direct.
Matt Nagy special.
Doesn't get the first
Matt
round.
Nagy special.
Matt Nagy fucking special. How about this? Line Justin Fields up. You have 2 plays to do it. Run straight on 3rd down. You don't get it again. Run straight on 4th. You'll get it. I promise you, you'll get it.
I just want to know if that's something to like. Have the Bears done that before? I don't remember seeing it, but the Packers, as soon as they saw Cole Kmet come in motion, you could see 3 of them right in the fucking screenshot. The middle, was it both middle linebackers and the strong side end both crashed down immediately? So there were like 5 guys right there as Komet's taking a direct fucking snap. What are we doing? What the fuck are we doing?
I saw Josh Allen at least twice last night line up under centers. Zach Wilson got the first down. Literally, Joe Buck or Peyton Manning's like, oh, yeah, QB sneaks in the NFL are easy. Not for the fucking Chicago Bears. Not for the Chicago fucking Bears. It's a disgrace. Quite frankly, you won't catch me at that stadium the rest of the year. I'm going to need to see huge, major improvements for me to even think about attending a fucking game and wasting the money I did on Sunday. It's a fucking joke. It's a slap in the face, and it's common sense shit. If this group can figure out how you can game plan for the Packers and a fucking NFL football game, It's not that hard. And also, I will say this, Ryan and I were the only people to pick the Bears to finish under 500 because of this reason. The O-line still sucks. The D-line is still very, very, very bad. Poles needs another offseason to figure that shit out. And it needs to happen this offseason on both sides of the ball. Offensive line, you probably need a guy or two. Defensive line, you might need a whole fucking unit. So now for the guys, and Blake, I'm going to come at you here because you predicted 12 and fucking something?
11 and 6.
Yep. I was the highest on him.
Okay. Now, actually, save that because I saw your picks for this week, and we're going to have a talk about that. Dylan, your thoughts. You've earned it. Your team wiped the floor with us. Talk as long as you want.
I don't want to take up too much of your time. I did write some notes here, but you kind of touched on a lot of them. With Love not, having some missed throws, but I think the key part of that game for him, this is my favorite stats. He was 8 for 10, 141 yards and 2 touchdowns. Perfect pass rating on 3rd and 4th down. And Ryan touched on it last week. He said that Jordan Love would be the more competitive quarterback, and I think, that's what you saw on Sunday. I mean, Field just looked, once they went down, he just didn't look like he cared at all. I mean, granted, we don't know what goes on the sidelines the whole time, but they were all pouting when they went down, and it was just fun to see. What was I gonna go into next? And about the completion percentage, it was 55%. The average in the NFL is 60. I don't give a fuck that he was only 55. He won him the football game. My big thing for the offense was they were 3 for 3 in the red zone. I don't know when the last time they were perfect in the red zone. I don't think they were at all last year. They were one of the worst red zone offenses last year. Big getting points before halftime, then coming out in the second half and getting another basically 2 possessions up. And me and my dad, when we were watching, we watched Bakhtiari every fucking play, and he was so fucking fun to watch. He was flipping off the crowd. The Sellies were electric.
He played a fucking excellent game too.
Hasn't practiced in 2 fucking weeks and didn't allow single pressure all game.
That guy's
Granted, you've been
the D-line isn't that hard to go against, but he still played an excellent game. I mean, he was very emotional in the sense of like he was getting himself fired up.
That's the guy
I think some of the guys on the line rallied around that too.
And I don't even
It's
care.
the kind of guy you want in your line.
The cap hit will probably change, but I don't even care if it's fucking $40 million next year. He's staying on the team if he stays healthy. Aaron Jones, gotta be one of the most dynamic, underrated players in the NFL. He doesn't just do this against the Bears. He does it week in and week out, and severely underrated.
He can pass
block, catch passes out of the backfield. Fucking, he had the second fastest sprint speed all weekend.
He's fast.
Tyreek Hill was 1, Jones was 2. You talked about the pressures. O-line only gave up 2 pressures all game. 35 for the Packers. But talking about defensive players, young team, Devontae Wyatt and Quay Walker finally fucking showed up. Quay Walker looks so much better compared to last year in coverage and reading the run. I mean, they didn't do a whole lot of that because they were doing the lateral fucking passes. Devontae Wyatt, God, he played so goddamn good. 3 tackles, 2 QB hits, 1 sack, 1 forced fumble. Van Ness, 5 pressures, leads all, tied for the lead with rookies. That dude is a fucking freak.
That angle where Justin Fields should have threw it away and he cut it down.
Not many bigger men in the NFL can do that.
That was very impressive to see.
Did that shit at Iowa all year last year.
Yeah, and I was sleeping on him a little bit, but through training camp and what he was doing in the preseason, he really kind of opened my eyes to him, and I knew he was going to make at least a decent play in this game. I think I texted you guys that Gary had 5 pressures on 12 snaps. The dude played 12 snaps all game and had more pressures than the Bears. And then the last guy on defense, Darnell Savage. I not very high on him, but he did look way better to start the season. I mean, he was terrible at tackling, but he made a lot of open field tackles on the running backs. Flying up to the line of scrimmage, knocking Claypool on his ass and tackling behind the line of scrimmage.
Being aggressive.
Yeah.
That's how the Bears should have played.
And I think that's the problem too, is like their whole game plan was like, oh, we'll throw these short passes and not challenge
That's what the
them
Packers
deep,
do well.
and we'll not challenge them deep. And then all the DBs just fucking flew up every single time because they were like, they're not throwing it deep. Besides the one to Mooney, but
yeah.
But overall, it's one game. I mean, I projected them to be 9-8, 10-7. But it just every fucking year, it just feels good that this whole cycle always tends to happen. Everybody gets high on the Bears. Season starts, and then it comes back down. Same thing every year. And all the shit talk all summer long. Don't worry, I wrote a few things down that I kept notes of. Not from just you guys, but some people. Bears had the best offseason. DJ Moore this, DJ Moore that. Ain't winning without
I think DJ Moore will still do everything we said.
He could, but he didn't do shit against the Packers. Ain't winning without Watson. Packers won't score more than 17 points. Justin Fields is winning the MVP. New era, your boy is gone.
That was me. I said the MVP thing.
New era, your
I threw
boy is
myself
gone.
under the bet.
That was Nick, if we want to name names.
I want names.
This is our division now. I don't remember who said that. And then the coworker said Fields is the new king of the North. I don't know how you could be the king of the North when you haven't beat a fucking NFC North opponent. But, this shit talking all summer long, and then they lose, and now it's, you just beat the Bears. They're not that good yet. Wait till you play a good team or love them play good. I didn't say you said that. I didn't name your name. But I'm just...
Nick, you might as well have said that because you basically said that you were completely out on the Bears on
I'm
Sunday.
100%. Listen to me very carefully. You got to earn it. My respect. They have 0 on the respect meter. Go out and beat Tampa Bay, and I'll consider it. Until then, I bet every game against the Bears. My own money will be against the Bears every week until they prove me wrong. That's embarrassing. You want to lose on a field goal by 7 and it be competitive? You're going to game plan like a bunch of fucking losers, and then you have people like Claypool, and we're fucking throwing lateral passes. I was done with Nagy 2 years ago when he got fired. That's what that was. I would have rather had Nagy doing the shit he did than what I watched. I was there in 2019. That was worse than 2019. That was an uninspired football team who had months. When did the schedule come out? May? April? 3-4 months prepare, and that's what you fucking do? You think they would have looked like that if Kyle Shanahan was their coach or anyone with a goddamn brain? No, they wouldn't have. They would have came out and competed. No respect, 0. 0 respect left for that team. 0, and they've done justice. Justin Fields has gotten complete disservice. I somehow hope he ends up somewhere else, and he just fucking excels. It's a joke.
Don't say
it's
that.
a fucking joke.
That being said, it's still week 1. Okay.
It's a joke.
There's a lot of teams that came out and shit the bed week 1.
I don't understand how you can be like this with the Bears, but you were fucking not even close to
I'm like this with the White Sox.
You were not to start
The White Sox are
You were
way
not.
worse of a situation than we have with the Bears. with
And
week one.
Nick was so much higher on the White
Did the
Sox than he
lose
is on the
9-3
Bears.
Green Bay Packers? Have the White Sox won
What's your
a playoff-
record against the AL Central?
Have the
Go
White
ahead and
Sox
pull
won
that
a
what I'm
up.
playoff
It's
saying,
probably
like-
just as embarrassing as the loss to the.
Have the White
I-
Sox
I-
won a playoff game since 2010? Shut the fuck up then.
No, I don't think they have.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, I
Oh,
was there.
I thought you said series.
You were there.
Sorry.
So shut up. It's the Packers. It's a division rival. Stop making excuses. The reason why the Bears are where they are is because you guys are like George McCaskey 1 and George McCaskey 2 are like, oh, it's okay. It's just week 1. We're not that good. No, it's the fucking Packers beat them. It's
Did I ever say I was okay with this? I'm pretty sure I
you
said my
I don't
feelings are
understand
very
how
much
you
hurt by
because
this.
What I just went through on Sunday was fucking bullshit, loser, uninspired football.
It was miserable.
Justin
I
Fields.
It's
have
the
never
same
been.
shit you've been used to for years.
What?
That might have been one
You
of the
just said that. You just said that. We've
Said
lost
what?
9 straight games to the Packers. So why
Yes.
would you expect, like, if you're gonna do that, why would you
Why
expect
would
the
I
Bears to
expect?
win?
Because they got a good receiver. They did some different.
But you can't be
I
on
thought it
both
would be
sides of the
close.
fence.
Bruce, listen to me. Listen to me. Last year was a close loss to the Packers, and we were trash. The year before that, I'm sure there were some other close losses. This was 38. Let's call it 14. Embarrassed in a home opener at 3:30. Not a fucking random game in January when you're already trying to get the first overall pick.
Yeah,
Use the knock.
They gave up with like 8 minutes left too.
Embarrassing.
Yeah, Nick gave up with 8 minutes left in the first quarter.
Embarrassing. Was I wrong, Bruce? Tell me I was wrong.
It is fundamentally
Shut
it is wrong to give up
up.
on your team
Up.
that quickly.
Uh,
We were like 10
No,
minutes
I'm just
into
gonna
football
continue
for
to use my
this
brain.
season, and you
my
You
canceled
shouldn't
the
have been. You
season
shouldn't have been
already.
completely at that point, even through the first half, even a halftime.
It
Still
was
a
like
game at
7
halftime.
to 6,
Yeah.
and you were
What
out.
happened? What happened?
It was 7 to 6, and you were out on the Bears.
What
All that
happened?
negative energy you were putting out into
It was
the
10 to
world,
6.
it just manifested.
No,
Yeah, I blame Nick, honestly.
I think the game plan manifested
No,
itself.
I think
The
not
game
being
plan didn't
around
get
you for the
changed
next
because
2 weeks of
they
football
they
is gonna
fucking
be
saw our
good.
group chat and saw you texted with fucking
Yo,
10 minutes left in
okay.
the first corner that well if one
Guess
of our
what?
fans is
I'm gonna
out, the
do
whole
every
rest of them are
fucking
out.
game this season, and hopefully we get the number 1 pick. I can trade Fields for a first round and just get Caleb Williams, and let's just keep this fucking carousel going, and let's get fucking wild. Because I'd rather see at this point than watch this guy not develop into a passer.
It's the ramblings of a
Dude,
madman, folks.
Well, what's up with your record, Niloff? Defend your Bears record right now. You changing your mind? Because I saw your bet for later too. You got them starting off basically 0-3, but going 11-6. Moron. Bruce, I don't even need to talk to you. You said they're going to win a wild card.
I said 9-8, and I'll explain my pick'em pick if you'd like me to. It's called reverse fucking manifestation. I want to lose that in the pick'em, and hopefully the Bears win. That's what that is. I'm not betting on the Bears this week because I got to be honest with you. I don't want any financial implication on that game whatsoever because Sunday was not only a nightmare for me watching the game as a fan, but we doubled or tripled down on the Bears money line before the game. So that hurt. Listen, I'm not out on Justin Fields.
I'm not out on
I'm
Fields
not
either. I need to see a lot of progression.
Really?
I need to
You
see
can't.
a lot.
You can't
You're
say
out on the
you
team.
can't
You're
say
out on
that
the
you
team,
want.
so
You
you're
can't
out
say
on
that you want the
everybody.
1 pick and that you want Caleb Williams, and then say that you're not out on Justin Fields.
I would
Because
trade
quite
one
honestly,
for-
I don't think it's Justin Fields' fault.
Yeah,
It
well,
wasn't.
He makes some bad fucking plays.
It wasn't.
Was it? It's
That O line was the
Wishy-washy.
worst O line since the worst O line game since 2021.
in the hierarchy.
35
You
pressures.
gotta watch
Game plan.
These hoes wishy-washy.
It goes game plan, offensive line, Fields. I agree. Not saying no. He made some
Fields isn't even
mistakes.
on the list to me, bro.
But
He's
guess
not.
what? If you want to be great, overcome it. Overcome it. Overcome it. Brady does.
Fields is on track to have more sacks than Andrew fucking Luck did.
I don't give a shit. Figure it
Andrew
out.
Luck retired early because he
And
took such
everyone
a
on that
fucking
fucking
beating
team who
that
ran
he
their
had
mouth
to
about
fucking
the
quit football.
Packers and beating
And this
them.
guy's on track to beat him by like, I don't remember the number
Shut the fuck up.
exactly, but it's
It's
like
week
50
one.
or 60
It's
more
week one.
sacks.
They won't do that. And then when Fields is still bad, you let me know. I'm not out on Fields. I like Fields. Show me more because that was shitty.
So if that's the issue and that's been the issue, why did they sign 2 off the ball linebackers instead of the top tackles in free agency?
Everybody wanted them to spend at least on one.
I'm going to go with because they're closer to figuring out the offensive line, even though it might not look like it, with 1 to 2 players when you needed the linebackers as well. And Fluce's scheme, you need linebackers who didn't really show up on fucking Sunday. Edmonds had a few nice plays. Fucking Edwards was ugly in coverage.
And then I saw this. Do you think it's more of like the coaches don't trust Fields, or Fields doesn't trust his own ability?
I think the coaches don't trust the offensive line, and that's why and they want to keep Fields healthy.
That was the point that I was going to make too. That he's not going to have enough time in the pocket to actually fucking find someone downfield, which is why, in my opinion, maybe don't drop back and only roll them out fucking twice in the game. Let him fucking move around. We saw the spectacular plays that he made when he's moving around in the pocket. And when he rolled out on the one play last year, I can't remember, and it came all the fucking way back because he's just fucking faster than anybody. And they didn't even give him the chance to do that realistically. Nope. Instead, it was snap the ball and throw it out. Snap the ball and throw it out. Snap the ball, throw it. Wait 1 second, actually, this time. Not 0 seconds, and throw it out. It's fucking ridiculous.
It's one of the worst games.
I did see. I saw that argument too, that people were saying that they think the coaching staff doesn't trust Fields. I don't think that's the case, man. I don't think that's the case. And if it is, I don't think he's giving you a fucking reason why in the regular season, to be quite honest with you. Everybody has their bad throws downfield. I'm sure you can go find a couple of them from last year, but
listen, he's just. Everything needs to be better. It starts with the coaches and then the lines. And if that doesn't get
coaches
better,
in the trenches.
That's it. Start there. I still like Fields. I still would bet on him. I'm just very frustrated. But man, like maybe there is a part of me that's like, maybe this guy is so fucked by this organization that he just doesn't have the confidence. And that's where you look at an organization like the Packers that have a good line. They can protect Love, and he can gain. You saw it Sunday. Made some shorter throws, missed a few long ones, then made some more. Then all of a sudden is fucking in the flow of the game, changing protections, changing plays, throwing the ball where it needs to go. That's what it should be. Now what we saw on Sunday where Fields is running around for his fucking life and just fucking throwing lateral passes the entire game. I would love to fucking be in that fucking coach's room and be like, what the fuck was the idea behind this? What the fuck happened? Whose game plan is this? It's going to get Fields killed. At this point, I think he's going to get hurt this year.
Who's really running the offense? Is it Getsy? Was that Getsy's call?
It has to be Getsy.
It's all Getsy.
Can I turn that into a conspiracy that Getsy just he's tanking the Bears' offense against the Packers?
If they go out for fucking 45 points,
he's really a Brian Gutekunst.
I can get behind that.
I'll tell you what.
He's a Gutekunst plant inside the Bears organization to keep us down.
I'm telling you, if he has another abysmal game like that, and the Bears don't win more than like 5 or 6 games, you could see Getsy gone. You could see Fluce gone. Yeah, I mean, you could see that whole.
I don't even think it comes down to wins. I think it's if this team you do not see a progression with Justin Fields, they're gone. If the Bears are asking themselves at the end of the season, is Justin Fields the guy, or should we use a pick? The entire coaching staff needs to be gone. Whether you bring back Fields or not.
Which is, that's ridiculous.
No, if you bring back Fields, you can't change the coaching staff on him again.
That's exactly
learning a new
system
is just going to fuck with you.
First year in another system for this guy, and it's just an abysmal fucking cycle.
He needs to be.
I went down this dark rabbit hole earlier.
See what I mean? Cycle. There we go. We're back trending.
It's a cycle, but your shit in Green Bay won't last forever. And I don't think it's a thing this year. So be careful what you
enjoying every
I know
minute of
you're
this.
enjoying the moment. I know.
You know, you can't take it away. The last time the Packers lost to the Bears, me and Josh at least were in college.
That's just fucking bullshit. It was 2018.
Mm-hmm.
You guys are lucky that I'm not still fucking at the bottom of Lake Michigan right now, because that's where I wanted to be on Sunday.
Yep,
I'm glad you're not.
Terrible. Any final words? I will say this: Roshan Johnson, my guy, who I said was going to take over the backfield, and was a very good fucking player, even though Bruce didn't think so. Because defense, great pass blocker.
I thought Roshan Johnson was probably the best player on the Bears offense on Sunday.
Best player on both sides. Played the hardest. Was running people over.
Doesn't play defense. You can't necessarily say that.
Best player on both sides. As far as I'm
Couldn't
concerned.
tackle Quay Walker though on the pick six. Just saying.
No, he got ran the fuck over, but
Yeah.
Not a good tackler. But thank God he plays offense.
but that's not what we have him out there for. No, he did everything you would have asked him to do, and I thought he did look very good.
Very
He
good.
was a highlight.
He'll be back one by might be fucking week 4 at this point. Anything else on the Bears, gentlemen? Let's preview Tampa Bay. So we're going into Tampa Bay, a game we thought we'd be 1-0 for, and I thought this was a trap game all along because anytime you go to Florida playing the 95-degree heat on a Sunday afternoon, it's going to be tough. Baker Mayfield looked pretty good. They stunned the Vikings. Kirky gave the Buccaneers a lot of turnovers. Who could have saw that regression coming? Wow. I don't know. I think the Bucs defensive line is really, really good. Vita Vea is going to fucking eat. I'm going to look on DraftKings and maybe Underdog will I'm going to hit them up and see if I can get a Vita Vea line because he's going to have a sack or two. We can save predictions for the betting part of it, but what do you think in this spot against Tampa? I think it's going to be tough.
I think it comes back to what we didn't see last week. I mean, you're 100% correct. This is a pretty damn good D-line that they're going to be going against, and you have to switch it up. We cannot drop back 45 or however many times, and only 2 times can it be a rollout. That cannot be the case. It needs to be a better game plan. I think this all comes down to the coaching staff and what they put together, and I don't want to see this team sitting in fucking cover 2 all game long. Fucking switch it up and make adjustments. I just want to see adjustments because I know they're going to come up with a new game plan. It's a whole new week. I know it's not necessarily going to just be all cover 2 back there, but I don't want to see us sitting stagnant for an entire 4 quarters if shit isn't working. That's what I think it comes down to.
Cousins threw for 344 yards.
That's going to be the story all year long. Cousins is going to throw for over 300 yards.
Jefferson had 150 yards receiving. Addison
But
at
their
61.
defense is trash.
At 35. So guess what? The Bucs secondary is not good. If Fields and the offense can't hit some downfield throws this game, whew.
Well, they need to call down.
I wouldn't necessarily say that means that the Bucs secondary is terrible. I mean, you're looking at
Jefferson.
phenomenal.
It's not great.
It's not mid-tier.
Jefferson had 136 at half.
Probably league average at best.
Something like
He
that.
had, yeah.
I was thinking like literally median.
Bro, you give up
Right.
150 yards to one dude, your secondary is not good.
It's
I don't
Justin
care if it's Jefferson.
It's Justin Jefferson.
Their defense as a whole is at best league average, and their secondary is below average.
Better figure it out.
There should be space to throw the ball on Sunday. It will.
Is there going to be time to throw it though? Because that's something.
I'm honestly more concerned about conditions. I do believe the east coast of Florida is currently dealing with the back end of a hurricane. So I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be like raining all fucking week in Florida.
To be quite honest with you, Bruce, if it's raining, that's fucking best case scenario. We beat the
that's kind of what I'm thinking.
It's going to
be a heavy dose of.
And we can run the football.
Read option, a heavy dose of.
Can we run the football?
And a heavy dose of Roshan Johnson. I
think
I don't know.
89.
We're gonna find out.
89 and 50% chance of rain.
Gonna be.
But isn't like most of the week rainy too?
Iterate out. I think rain game would only help us, to be quite fair, because I mean it ain't like the Bucs have a phenomenal fucking
Baker Mayfield's got little hands. He can't throw the ball well in the rain.
But he could sure stiff arm a DB though.
Baker played.
What did he say? Weight room?
Weight room little boy.
Blake, what do you think?
Blaze or not
Bears,
Blake,
Bucks.
sorry.
Yeah, so I did account for before the season the Bears were losing this game. I was the only one that picked the Bucks to beat the Vikings last week. Speak very highly of the Bucks this year, honestly. Even if their defense isn't that bad, they got Baker who can check down when he needs to. He's got weapons low. He's got Mike Evans whenever he wants to go deep. One of the best deep ball throwers in the league. So, yep, the Bears have no chance here. Rain, shine, doesn't matter. They're done.
Does that
This
change
game.
does that change your prediction on the season?
No, but like I said, it's already.
So you had them starting 0-3.
No, they were supposed to beat the Packers. So
Okay, so they're
I
supposed
think
to be
they're
1-2.
starting 1-2. To be fair,
Yeah.
though.
Yeah, they're not beating Denver. Anything else on the Bears? And
Denver's
this
week 4. Week 3 is against the Chiefs. That's why I had them starting 1-2. Know your fucking team schedule, piece of shit.
Anything
Move
else?
us on.
Nope. Good. Perfect time. Promo code Frosty Underdog Fantasy Sports, the best place to do just about anything this NFL season. Won a little money on the Thursday night to Sunday night drafts. Had Patty Mahomes. I had, thankfully, Tony Pollard. So that was a nice little dub there. Pick'ems were shit this week, but we will get right back on it this week. Promo code Frosty up to $100.
Tough look for the entire crew, really, except for I believe Bruce. Bruce with the over on Kirk Cousins was a nice play. He fucking murdered his line. Everybody else shit the fucking bed. But shout out to Bruce, who also had a good. We'll talk about that later, I guess. But had a good week betting. If only he actually bet his picks. But yeah. Are we gonna give out our picks for the slip this week? Is that what we're doing right here?
Before we go, let's see if there are any is there anything else we want to talk about in the NFL that we saw this week. I thought it was a very sloppy week 1. I mean, you had Joe Burrow passing for under 100 yards. There were just really ugly, tight games. Las Vegas was 17-16. Just a lot of tight, ugly games. I think the Dolphins and Chargers was fun, but
it was a weird fantasy week. Really weird fantasy week.
Very weird.
But I mean, it's week 1, man. That's just gonna happen. I'm not worried about Burrow whatsoever. Guy was fucking throwing the ball for maybe 7 days before that game. And, they always start slow. Look at the last 3 years, and they always turn around. That's kind of their cycle, but they make the fucking playoffs and make runs. So must be nice. But no, I mean, fucking shitty position for Aaron Rodgers. I think that's fucking horrible, honestly. I would not want to be a Jets fan because, man, they've been fucking going through it. And then you finally think that you got a future Hall of Fame quarterback with this defense that is going to be, most likely top 3. Brought in some receivers around Garrett Wilson too. And fucking 4th play of the game, 75 seconds on the field. Guy snaps his fucking Achilles. It was sad to see because I was really excited to watch that entire game, and it ended up still being a good one, but kind of took the wind out of me at the start.
It would have been nice to see.
I think the Jets would have fucking dominated that game.
That storyline, just the whole year in the NFL, was just going to be fun. And honestly, the guy couldn't have snapped his Achilles when he played for the Packers. That would have been nice. I don't feel bad for him. Kind of funny, too, that he doesn't believe in 9/11, carried out a flag, and then snapped his Achilles. It's kind of ironic.
Look at the time on the clock when he did it, too.
What was it?
It was like 11:18, and then someone was like, well, if you do 1 + 8 and then reverse it.
Jesus Christ. The flag thing was sick. I saw the flag.
It was a cool clip.
Then I went to use the bathroom. I came back down. He was getting carted off. Like, what did I miss?
Did you see the video from Barstool of KFC and Clemmer talking before the stream started?
And Clemmer brought up.
Clemmer's like, this just reminds me of when was it Chad Pennington?
No, it was Vinny Testaverde.
Yeah, they're tore his ACL, his Achilles on the first play of the game.
Some other guy tweeted like 2 or 4 hours before the game. Some random guy tweeted like turf field, really wet, conditions are horrible, old quarterback, would not be surprised if he snaps his Achilles. And then sure as shit, snaps his Achilles.
Yeah, we've argued about this on the show before, but like I don't think the turf honestly had anything to do with it, but just help the players out. Like
Playing on turf sucks.
Yeah, just get some nice grass for everyone. Please, if the soccer can do it,
any fucking sport playing on turf fucking sucks.
They brought in grass for a soccer game at MetLife.
Right.
They're bringing in grass for every 2026 World Cup game. There cannot be a single game that will be played on turf. Why can we do it for that in America, but we can't do it for football now, or even maybe start planning now for next year? It's a little embarrassing.
A lot of it's the owners who don't want to have.
They don't want to have to fucking pay for it's much more expensive to fucking upkeep grass. But guess what? If you owners want your whole team to be more healthy throughout the year, fucking pay for it.
Yeah.
Also doesn't help that it rained all last Sunday night during that game, and then it just continued all day. They played 2 games, and then they repainted the field for the Jets, or whatever they did. They just sort that out. So,
yeah,
it's a damn shame. I was actually really excited to watch an Aaron Rodgers football game where I wasn't actually like invested in them winning. Like I could care less if he won or lost, but just to like kind of see that outside perspective of like, oh shit, this guy doesn't play for me anymore. How do other teams feel now? So.
Appreciate greatness, and he's a great player. Whatever you want to say about him. So, sucks. Moving on to the picks. I think we talked about it. This is why the people come. We are working on a few more sponsorship deals, so stay tuned for that. Be a little more specific, but Bruce is the lead dog at 4-1 after 1 week. The defending champion didn't bet any of his own picks, which is fucking still mind-boggling to me. He actually would have money in the account.
I can already tell you, he's gonna tell you that he put him in a parlay and put $5 on it.
I don't like this narrative. No, I bet everything straight up.
Okay.
It's not the bets that I put out here that cost me money every week. It's the dumbass parlays I do on top of those that cost me money.
That's what we're trying to say.
Dude, well, to be fair, the parlay that hit saved the account this week. I did hit one.
So you waited. So you won. You went 4-1 and then won those bets, and then you bet so much in parlays that it almost negated you going 4-1.
How much did you put on your straights?
I had an uncomfortable amount of money on the games. I realized that too late. I did.
But you went 4-1.
Like I said, I bet other things. Like I have other plays. I have many other plays. I had
the math's just not adding up in my head, because if you had 5 picks where you bet an uncomfortable amount of money on them and they went 4-1, you should have had
I bet regular.
double.
I bet regular units on almost everything.
You have too many bets.
That's wild, bro.
I know.
What are you putting out?
I 25 bets.
25 plays a week?
I had like 14 on Sunday.
1-800-GAMBLER. That's what you need to call.
I think I ended up losing like $20, dude. I don't have we're cool.
Why don't you just increase the unit size?
$30 because
Bet
I
your
fucking
own bet
smashed
and
the
just
Bears.
profit and double your money each week.
Because I like having more action. It's fun.
Nick, I don't know if you added the under for the Bills Jets game, but that saved my Monday night.
I had the under, and then I had both teams to score a touchdown, and I was really scared that wasn't going to hit. And then the Jets.
Dude, that Garrett Wilson catch was fucking nuts.
Yeah, that guy.
This dude literally reaches across and just taps the ball over and then catch one of the best. It was just pure defense. Top 10 catch of the year.
Caught it.
Nothing you could say against that corner. That corner played it pretty fucking well. That's just a spectacular play. That got me off my couch.
Only to just be topped by a walk-off overtime punt return touchdown.
That was also sick.
I didn't
Bills minus 2.5.
I didn't think you could top that that touchdown, and then they did it. That game was insane.
Yeah, that was fun. Credit to
fun
the
game.
Jets too and Robert Saleh. Most teams fold in that situation. Like lose that game by 20
That
points.
defense didn't fucking fold, man. That defense is
fucking back
shit.
and play. Do we
Legit.
think Rodgers comes back? We didn't talk about that.
100%.
No, he's gonna retire.
He's not.
No shot.
He's not going to go out like that.
Can't.
I don't think he's gonna
He's
go out.
Rupturing. I
think
physically
he's got 2
don't
more
think
years
he
with
can
the
do it.
Jets.
Well, he's physically much more in shape than all of us.
Yeah. And
Well,
if Kobe
obviously, but he's also what 38, 39,
39.
He turns 40 this year.
and he just ruptured his Achilles.
If he can
Like
still
you know how
throw the
hard that
football,
is.
Dude, yeah, you're acting like this isn't Kobe tearing his Achilles where he needs to run and jump and sprint every play. He doesn't run. He throws the fucking football.
Listen, if there's one guy who could tear his Achilles at fucking any age and still come back, it's Kobe Bryant. So that's just a terrible person to bring up.
No, it's not, because Kobe Bryant had to run and jump and fucking he was never the same after that. Rodgers would be fine. Maybe he's a little less mobile.
And like 1,000% less mobile.
You're not 1,000%.
Like
Welcome
Matt
to
Stafford
23
mobl
with
now.
modern medicine.
Joe
that's not
Flacco
huge.
mobile.
That's not a huge injury anymore.
he'll be back.
And he's going to be fucking so hopped up, the mushrooms are going to heal him. He might be back this year.
But that's not what.
Definitely not back this year.
Bruce,
No, certainly not back this year.
Yeah, we're doing picks.
Yep,
Yeah.
lead off.
Lead us off, big fella. Lead us off.
All right, so I'm taking the Chargers -3. I liked what I seen out of the Chargers this week. I think they're playing kind of a soft team. The Titans, not very good, not a good football team. Then I have the Colts -2. Anthony Richardson was very impressive. They're playing an actively tanking Houston Texans team. That's a game the Colts should win. -2 seems easy. Jags.
Wait, hold on. You said they're actively tanking. I don't believe they have a first-round pick that next year, so that's incorrect. Because
Well, then they're just a bad team. Then they have a roster of a team that should actively be tanking. How about that? You threw me off. Jaguars +3. I like the Jags to cover against the Chiefs. They're at home. I think they win this game straight up. But for security reasons, I will take the points when I can.
The Jags are at home?
Huh?
I believe that game is in Jacksonville.
Yeah, the Jags are at home.
Yeah.
Yes, TIA Bank, Florida. Yeah. I like them, especially we don't know if Travis Kelce's going to play. Chris Jones probably will play since he got signed. But I think the Jags are a very good team, and I think they kind of handle business at home. The other one, next pick, Rams +8. That just seems like it's too many points. That's really all that is. 8's a lot in the NFL. San Francisco looked good. They look really good. I don't think Pittsburgh's good. I think Kenny Pickett kind of stinks. Me and Josh had a conversation about that earlier. So
Mitch time in Pittsburgh?
I not yet. They won't give up on Kenny Pickett yet. But if it stays if it doesn't get exponentially better, I think it could be Big Mitch hours in Pittsburgh.
I don't know about that. I never said that. Bruce did say that.
I said that. I said that. And then my last pick, my lock of the week, Dolphins -2.5. Riding the Dolphins again, baby. They did me well last week. I had the money line. They pulled it out. They're playing the Patriots. I think the Patriots fucking stink. And the Patriots' #1 receiver, Kendrick Bourne, died. He was carted off the field. I don't know actually what's wrong with him, so that's what I'm going to go with for now. He's not going to play this week. I can almost guarantee that. So Mac Jones really has no weapons. RIP to him. Dolphins are going to roll that one.
That was your lock?
That's my lock. Dolphins minus 2.5.
Fuck.
That line that's a rat line. The Dolphins are gonna win this game by 40.
Who had the second best record last week? We'll go with them next. Blake?
Thirsty Thurs.
Yo, second place. I'm kind of upset. So yeah, we don't share any of our picks before, but I have a lot of matching picks with Bruce here.
I have the same lock as Bruce.
So I have the Chargers -3 as my lock. I have the Rams +8. I have the Commanders money line. I think it was plus money. I do like Commanders this week. Miami
the Broncos are 3.5-point favorites in that game.
Yeah, no chance. Washington wins that game there.
No.
Then I have the Dolphins -2.5. Like Bruce said, very good pick. And then I have Green Bay to finish with a -1 here. I think Green Bay's gonna. I don't have the freaking schedule pulled up. So who do they play, Dylan?
Atlanta.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
They're
Yep.
-1 favorites
And
against
in
it.
Atlanta, they're 2-point
That-
favorites according to the score now.
Okay, gotcha. Yep, Green Bay got that easy.
So that means the line is shifting because people are betting on the Packers.
Yes. I will say before we keep going, you're probably gonna see a lot of similar picks out of us. I was the second to last person to put my picks into our collective spreadsheet, and there are 10 games in which everybody
That's the
but
pick 'em,
Nick.
though. That's different. That's different. It's not
Yeah,
the five
but
betting.
that's
just a
how
straight up, no
you're
odds.
leaning, and that's where that's a thought process kind of feel out. That's how you're leaning in all
not
these games.
necessarily,
and where
because
you're-
you, for example, took Rams +8 because the line's too big. But you don't think the Rams are going to win this game.
Right, no, and I have the
No.
San Francisco money line, and so does everybody else in the pod, except for maybe Nick. His picks weren't in yet. I'm just saying, there's probably going to be a lot of things we agree on because we have 10 of 16 games. We have the same money line picks.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I went 2 and 3. Nick went 2 and 3. Did Ryan go 3 and 2 then?
1 and 4.
And he's not. Yikes. So me and Nick are tied for third. And then Ryan's in last. Dylan can read his picks at the end and then give his solo pick of the week. I'll go next. I hate my picks. I absolutely hate them, but I love them at the same time. So starting off, I'll
Why
just
do you
get
make picks you hate?
there's a philosophy that I was going with that I wanted to take a couple picks a certain way. I'll get into that. I have Dolphins
Dylan.
minus.
Make a note. We should sign up for that guy's picks and make sure they're not matching his. Because that was a little weird trinket he just dropped in there that he has a system or something. So let's make note. Want to double check that.
That guy, like I said, and that's what he did week 1, is he did not release the picks till like Saturday. So I mean that's
I
perfectly
follow.
fine.
It's
Tuesday.
out drinking. So now I'm just gonna have to watch closer.
Okay. Well, if he picks the same things in this chronological order, he's copying my picks technically because they are public view.
About that.
But I also have the same lock as Bruce. I've got Dolphins minus 2.5 as a lock. Stopping that offense is going to be damn near impossible until Tua gets Tua hands again. If he does, then I got a similar pick to Blake. I got Packers minus 1. I don't think Atlanta's a good football team. I don't think that the Packers are like the greatest football team, but I definitely think that they're better than Atlanta. I got them at -1 before the line shifted. So yeah, I'll take the Packers in a pick 'em. Absolutely. Unless Jordan Love proves me wrong at some point. I will most likely in these kind of spots do that. I disagree with Bruce. I think Travis Kelce is going to be back, and I also think Chris Jones is going to be back.
I said we don't know.
Yeah,
And I said
implying-
Chris Jones will play.
You said Chris Jones would play. You said Travis Kelce. You don't know, but I don't think that he's going to play. I think that they're both going to play. And yeah, I got the Chiefs -3 -2.5, whatever it is. I'm all over the Chiefs here. The fact that Patrick Mahomes really still almost won that game against the Lions, because I think the Lions are a decent team, not great, but definitely a pretty good football team, will likely be in the playoffs. 21-20 without two of your top 3 players. Give me the Chiefs. Give me the Chiefs in a bounce back week. Speaking of bounce back weeks, that's where these next 2 picks come from. These teams had fucking horrible week ones. Give me the Giants -4 against Arizona. I don't think they're as bad. I don't think they're a great football team, but I do not think they are as bad as a 40-0 loss that they took to Dallas. I think they'll make some adjustments, have a very nice bounce back week against a very shitty Arizona team. Arizona doesn't want to win. -4. Give me the Giants. And then right back with another bounce back week. Give me the Steelers money line. They also got fucked in the ass, but their defense actually played a pretty good game. Gave up 30 points, but they were on the field a fucking shit ton. And San Francisco is going to be in the NFC Championship, likely even potentially a Super Bowl. Shit could happen early. Give me the Steelers money line on a bounce back week. And those are my picks.
Well, you weren't kidding about not being good. Dylan, I'd like to. Actually, no, I'm not going to make you do that. Falcons +2. I think the Falcons are going to do what the Bears failed to do. Get to love, and I think it'll be a little more telling. And I think they're going to pound the football with Bijan and Algier. Speaking of which, you probably want to pick up Algier, trade for him in your fantasy leagues, because that guy's still getting a shit ton of carries. And Arthur Smith's a pretty good coach. So I like Atlanta at home. That game is in Atlanta, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay.
Are you afraid of, just one side comment on the Atlanta game, are you afraid of Pitts plus London total targets of 1 last week?
I don't have either, so no.
Yeah, I don't either, but
Yeah. That.
No,
I mean,
Pitts had 2 catches.
He didn't.
I don't think he did.
He didn't.
I have him in fantasy, and
They
it was
had
pretty abysmal.
one catch between them both.
or maybe it was catches, yeah.
Or targets, whatever.
Well, London had no catches. I know that.
And I think Pitts had 1 for like 12 or 13 yards.
Yeah, Blake's right. Yes, Blake, it is concerning. We know Ritter sucks, but I think the Falcons actually.
Pitts had 2 catches for 44 yards. I was right.
Okay, I'm sorry. They had 2 catches. 2. Sorry.
Either way, between the 2 of them, you're probably top 2 receivers, even though Pitts is a tight end, and those guys should probably be leaving your team in receiving yards. That's bad.
I'll tell you how bad the Panthers are. Falcons +2. Give me the Broncos -3.5. Blake, you're way off on this one. Broncos win this by 10 or 12. The Commanders were very disappointing last week, and Sam Howell sucks and also got bodied. You don't know if he's going to play, and I don't know who their backup is. I think it's Jacoby Brissett, which
It is.
no.
Oh, I forgot Heineke went to the Atlanta. Fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's gone.
So that's looking like a very strange pick.
Atlanta should start Heineke.
I was just about to say, if there's a quarterback change that I could see coming halfway through the season,
Heineke's the man.
It's Heineke taking over for Ritter.
He buys a pair of Jordans every team he beats. It's kind of sick.
He's got spunk.
I feel like everybody likes Heineke.
Absolutely. I'm with you guys.
He's one of those guys.
Chargers look good. Chargers -3 this week against the Titans, who kind of suck. They definitely do suck. Saints -3. Carolina is going to be very bad. And I think they're like, ooh, they might be kind of good with whatever the fuck why can't I think of their coach's name? He's just on the Colts.
Frank Reich.
Frank Reich. Bryce Young, just it's going to be growing pains, and there's not a lot around him. And then the defense.
Like I said last week, Nick, growing pains and a shitty offensive line is not a recipe for success. We saw it all last year with the Bears.
Yeah.
The Panthers line this year is worse than the Bears last year. Because the Bears last year, I think was great.
The Bears line this year might be worse than the line last year.
After 1 week of performance, you could say that, yes.
Okay. So like I said in the beginning, until they show me something, they have no respect. That game's on Monday night, and then I'm also locking the Dolphins -2.5. I'll be at this game in Foxborough. This is going to be a bloodbath. I don't think Bill Belichick is completely sane
But
anymore.
you're going to this game? You're
Yeah, I'll be in
it?
Boston. I'll be at the game.
Nice.
I will be rooting for the Dolphins as well by putting a large sum of money on them for the friend of the pod, Liam. He's a Finns fan, Fin up. It's gonna get ugly. I think Bill Belichick's kind of done and washed, and I'm Mac Jones against Vic Fangio. Give me Vic Fangio.
To be honest with you, I didn't think the Patriots played that bad of a game last week.
No, as I said,
first quarter
close. As I said.
But you
Bruce
said Bill
like,
Belichick's done,
"They're
but
gonna
his
win by
coaching
10,
staff
no?"
were able to adjust the game plan and actually made that a pretty fun game to watch.
Yeah, I wish I would have watched
I
that.
slightly disagree with you. on that, but I think I don't think the New England offense is going to be able to keep up with the Miami offense.
That's the problem.
Which is why it's a great pick, and that's why I locked it. That's why Bruce locked it. Did you?
Listen,
did
we're
you
on this
lock that?
podcast collectively. We'll lose.
Yeah,
this
Nick
shit.
just locked it.
We're fucked. We got 3 people all locking the Dolphins. We are fucked.
If
It
this
is gonna
doesn't
be.
hit, this will be a bloodbath. Dylan, lock of the week. Don't tell me it's the Dolphins.
Fuck it, it's
Okay.
Dolphins. I was gonna read you Ryan's picks, but
Go ahead.
Ryan's
Go
got
ahead.
the Vikings +7.
Yuck.
Giants -4.
I like that.
Raiders +8.5.
I don't hate that either.
Packers -1.
Love that.
And the lock. Drum roll. Commanders +3.5.
Whoa.
This guy just.
That's why he's 1-4 right there. This guy's locking the Commanders.
Now I know Ryan is just doing this because he's a Raiders fan. You should have seen him on Sunday after we left. He was so happy the Raiders won. He's like, he couldn't stop talking about when he came over Sunday morning. He's like, oh, God, me and my dad were so happy the Chiefs lost. I'm like, dude, it's 1 week. Chill. They still have Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce. He's like, no, we're going to be in first place in the AFC West. Guy's fucking delusional.
I mean, he wasn't wrong.
Yeah.
They
He's
are
gonna
in
be wrong.
first.
He's going to be wrong.
As of this moment, they're in first place.
Enjoy it. It's not
It ain't
going.
gonna last.
I'm sure Ryan is.
Oh, he is. Believe me. He is. Underdog plays of the week. Dylan, do we have those in?
Yeah, I got him.
Let's read them.
Wait, so Dylan, hold on. No, I think everybody should say their pick.
Oh,
I know.
okay.
I'll
Everybody
start
should
with you,
say
Josh.
that.
Go.
And just to preface, did you actually pick the Dolphins as your lock like before?
Oh, yes.
You got all this shit? I thought you did. I thought you did. Well, we've got
He said
4
yes,
people.
of course.
4 people on the fucking Dolphins. We are fucked.
This podcast is a Dolphins podcast.
Hey, very well made. One of my coworkers, huge Dolphins fan. Cheering for him. Happy for him. I took CMC over 73.5 rushing yards.
A lot of fucking rushing yards against a division rival who's playing Aaron Donald. God.
Don't care.
Okay.
That line is Aaron Donald and no one else. And it's
I hope it.
CMC and the best offensive
it's gonna
line
hit.
in the
It's gonna
NFL.
It's gonna hit.
At 73.5. What did he just go for? 128. Not that matters because it was last week,
Right.
but
Yeah, exactly.
to be fair, it's literally Aaron Donald versus the best offensive line in the NFL. I get Aaron Donald is a fucking superhuman, but it's realistically just him in my eyes. Christian McCaffrey will be just fine. Kyle Shanahan knows how to fucking run the football, is going to know how to take care of Aaron Donald, and CMC is going to go for 87 yards, 46 receiving, and a touchdown, both in the air and on the ground. Book it.
Like it.
Nick.
I don't like it. But, Calvin Ridley over receiving yards. I think it was 72.5, 71.5. What I got it at.
I like that pick.
The Chiefs secondary is bad. Calvin Ridley's going to see a ton of targets. He basically took all of Christian Kirk's targets in the red zone too, which we all knew was going to happen. Now, again, Chiefs secondary, very, very bad. A lot of no names. Doesn't really matter if Chris Jones is back. He's going to get the targets. He's going to be open. Brown torched him. Lawrence is going to feed him, especially in the home opener. Ridley easy here.
I like that pick.
Bruce.
Like that pick a lot.
So I'm not sure how this is gonna be received by you guys, and I really don't give a fuck. I'm riding the A train. We're taking Anthony Richardson over 195.5 passing yards.
That I'm not so sure about.
What did he have last week?
223.
Sure.
Okay. It's better. So I just like to point something out to you, just because you don't know how fantasy works and you're a terrible fantasy player and a terrible gambler. So when a team is up, they tend to throw less and run more. Last week they were down almost the entire game and needed to throw to get back into the game. Your pick was for them to win this week, which means if they're up, they'll probably run more to chew more clock, thus meaning Anthony Richardson will throw less. So game script doesn't favor your picks and decisions, but you're dumb anyway, so this isn't surprising. Let's hope we can overcome being stupid.
I don't think you understand how football works,
I
where
just
you
told you
kind of
how.
need to score a
Just
bunch of
told you how it
points to beat the other team.
I
Like,
mean, it's
the
it's
more
a low,
points you
low
score,
line
the
for
more.
starting NFL quarterback. It's under 200 yards.
What if he throws two 75-yard touchdown passes before half? And then he only needs 60
Could happen.
more.
How long was the one he threw to Pittman? That's
Again,
pretty
when the team is down, you throw more.
I knew
I
it was
do have Houston winning this game.
Team, you're right.
Like
you
I
have
said,
the
I
Colts
didn't know
winning.
how this would be
The
received,
Colts are
and I
up.
So
don't
you
really
have
care.
Kansas City
It's
beating
on
Jacksonville.
the board. It's on the board.
As soon as you sent it, I was like, "Oh, they're not gonna fucking like this one."
Yeah, no, I
It's a
kind of
bold pick.
Nick talked shit about the Kirk Cousins pick too, and it was the only one who hit. So I think
Sure,
I have a
sure.
right.
You know what, Bruce?
I liked the Kirk Cousins pick. That's
I hope
all
it
they're
hits.
going to be able to do is throw
Let's
the ball.
be positive. I hope it hits, Blake. Well,
I have Joe Burrow under
Difficult.
263. Yeah, Joe Burrow under 263 passing yards against a division rival. The Ravens are going to play even slower without their running back that just got hurt. I don't even know what he did. I think he tore his Achilles as well.
Tore his Achilles, done for the year.
Yep. So this game is going to be slow.
Too. Poor guy.
I'd look at unders here, and obviously Joe Burrow under 263.
like it. a lot.
I'm okay with it because it's week 2. But
You're
don't
Joe
ride
Burrow.
that train very long.
Let me explain to you. It's not going to be a good year for the Bengals. That's why I didn't pick up the win division. You don't just magically get your superpowers back. The reason they lost in week 1 because their offensive line is bad, Josh. And what do bad offensive lines mean, Josh? Which you've explained to me twice on this podcast today. Can we just use some logic, some common sense? I don't like that. It's Joe Burrow. Bruce, your pick's not bad. I don't have a problem with the line. Your logic's bad. Don't tell me the Colts are going to win, and then Richardson's going to go over passing. The correlation is just bad. I hope it happens. I hope we overcome stupid on this podcast. But there's a lot
I
of.
think a lot
Listen,
of
the
times
Bengals
teams
line-
win in the NFL,
The
they throw
Bengals
for
line is
over
not going to
200
be
yards.
bottom
Here's my
5 in the
problem.
league, and Joe Burrow is Joe fucking Burrow.
Exactly. That's my point. That's not how this works. That's not how
And
this
Andrew
works.
Luck did just fine for himself, winning 11 games with the worst fucking offensive
Yes,
line
he
in the
did
league. So
just
don't
fine
come
for
at me and
himself.
say. And Joe Burrow is of that caliber to me. So yeah, I will argue this point with you that I think you're wrong. Do I like it in week 2? Absolutely, because it's still very early. Like I said, the Bengals typically start slow because I've reviewed that and know that from the past 2-3 years. So I don't hate the pick, but all I'm saying is don't ride this train to week fucking 8 because it ain't going to be like that all year long unless he re-injures the calf. That's all I'm saying. That's all I said. I did not say I disliked the pick. I said I liked it. Don't ride it. To be careful where that line is to ride that. But against this opponent in week 2, another tough opponent, still early in the season, yes, I like your pick, Blake.
After you said he doesn't know about it. What's the last pick?
Ryan's pick is a quarterback lower than 240.5 passing yards from the Seattle Seahawks, Mr. Geno Smith.
Good pick.
So
Not bad.
that is his pick.
So you think the Seahawks are going to win that game?
No.
Me?
So
And
by
he
your
picked-
logic,
And
they
he
should
picked
throw more.
and he picked an under on a quarterback with 3 pretty good receivers
Nope.
And so based on your logic, that should be a shitty pick. But the first words that came out of your mouth and the first words that came out of anybody's mouth after that pick was said was that you like that pick.
I like Ryan's pick. I don't like your guys' pick. Besides Blake, I like Blake's pick.
Okay.
My pick.
Bruce, you saw what I did right there?
Blake's
Bruce
pick.
saw what I did right there.
No, Bruce's logic just doesn't make sense. He's just stupid. That's why that doesn't make sense.
That's that logic can be used in reverse, vice versa, in the pick that you just said you liked.
Be used in any way you want it to perceive to want it. You guys are both stupid. I think that was the whole summary of that. You were just babbling on.
No, you're giving Bruce
You're
shit for a guy
stupid, but
that,
yeah,
that he
I'm
needs to get over
4-1.
200 yards. But yeah,
And
we
I
need
hit on
Geno
my pick
Smith
last
to
week,
stay
but
under
I'm stupid.
240 when he's got 3 quality fucking receivers, and they're probably going to be down and lose this game because I know that you don't think the Seahawks are going to win because you just said you don't think the Seahawks are going to win.
Bruce said,
And they will spread that offense out
Can you
and
just-
throw all
can I-
fourth quarter if they need to. Because they
Can't do
can.
You can't do that against the Lions. The Colts and Texans are 2 bad teams. No one's dominating up front there. Nobody. So Geno Smith.
The
The
Colts
Texans are a
offensive
fucking
line
terrible
is
team. So why
dominating
wouldn't
the
Aaron
Colts.
Richardson be able to
That-
throw for 200
the
yards and
Colts-
get up early? And yeah, that's why you're staying quiet, because you have to sit there and try and come up with some bullshit excuse for how your logic is good one way but not good the other. I don't want to hear it from you.
You're just not smart.
Listen, I'm sticking by what I'm doing. I'm sticking by what I'm doing. I'm not flip-flopping the logic.
No one's flip-flopping logic. I just like Ryan's pick more than your picks. That's it.
Yeah, but by your logic, Ryan's pick should be the worst pick of the 2.
No.
3.
That game's
Yeah.
going to be closer than your game. According to you.
I have the Colts with -2.
Let me leave you with some advice. A duck may swim on the lake, but my daddy owns the lake. Final words. Niloff. Frozen. Dylan.
It's good to be a Green Bay Packers fan.
Go to hell. Blake.
Giants as the survivor pick this week.
Yeah, don't hate it. It's kind of, you have to use them now, right? Bruce.
I just don't want the Bears to break my heart again.
And I would like to give out a shout out to Niloff. Can't talk. We whooped Awas's ass on Saturday. Video coming out. We took him to school after George Dunn too. Won by 10 strokes as a team. So Niloff and I undefeated as scramble partners. Dylan, thank you for coming out and filming. I have zero expectation for the Bears the rest of the year because I'm officially done and I have no respect for them until they show me otherwise. We'll see you next week, everybody.
When nowhere, we gon' stay right here. Going nowhere, we ain't going nowhere. We can't stop now. We gon' stay right here for life. Yeah. Going nowhere. We ain't going nowhere. We can't be stopped now. 'Cause it's bad boy for life.